So, yesterday I asked my Twitter timeline to recommend old video games that they thought were obscure or interesting in some way. I told them to just throw out some titles without giving anything away, and they did it. Thank you, everyone. I gathered up every game title that I knew nothing about, put them into a notepad list, and generated a random number to choose a game. Today's number is 10, which means I'm playing Rally de Africa. Rally de Africa was developed by Prism Arts and released on the original PlayStation in 1998. This game was recommended to me by my good friend Turbo Meowser. Thank you. This is a fairly simple rally game that will look a little familiar to fans of Sega Rally. The real meat of this game is the championship mode, which is divided into 3 classes, K, A, and S, and you have to get first place in a class championship before you can try the next one. K class starts you off easy with smaller, slower rally cars. These cars are clearly based on real-life rally cars, but have had their liveries changed a little. Some even contain weird nonsense words like Mini Boy and Frogman. Now, when you start playing, you will quickly realize that this does not feel quite as good as Sega Rally. That's a high bar, sure, but handling in this game is a little quirky, and it took me a couple hours to really get used to it. The road feels kind of sticky and snappy in kind of an unnatural way, and your car really wants to overcorrect itself when coming out of a power slide. You have to be very gentle when countersteering, or you'll lose control and start bouncing all over the place. I'm not sure they got the surfaces right either. I feel like I have more grip on the snow than I do on the tarmac, which is a little odd. AI opponents are fed to you 1 or 2 at a time here, with your goal being to pass all 11 of them in 1 full lap around the course. The bots are slow and don't seem like much of a threat at first, but they are weirdly good at getting in your way and blocking you from passing them. This can be really frustrating when you're coming up to the finish line and find yourself blocked at the last second. These guys just won't get out of the way. Avoiding them is way harder than taking the turns. In spite of these difficulties, I made it through K class and moved up to bigger, faster rally cars. The music that plays when you beat a class is pretty, yeah, that music is pretty A-class. Now, these cars are very recognizable. It's like, I wonder what these cars could be based on. I think it's a little odd that the Porsche 911 apparently has better grip than the Peugeot 306, but whatever. I'm a sucker for a blue Impreza. The difficulty picks up quite a bit here, as you'll now have to navigate turns and avoid bots at much higher speeds. At first, I was ready to give up and write this game off as a cheap Sega Rally knockoff, but the more I played, the more I found myself invested. The level of challenge in this game is honestly perfect. You have just enough time to pass everyone and win the race, but driving well and taking home the win is satisfying. And as I attempted the A-Class Championship a couple times, I got better and better at controlling the cars. A full class championship is fairly short too, usually around 3 to 5 minutes, so starting over wasn't really that frustrating or boring. And after a few tries, I started learning how to maneuver, and I won the A-Class. This set me up for the final challenge, S-Class. I was expecting some Group B rally monsters to be your choices here, but instead you get like rally raid cars. There's a trophy truck here, a Jeep, a Hummer, and even a Volkswagen minibus. Driving the minibus is hilarious, but your best bet for winning this class is the Wrangler, with its all-around good stats. These cars don't seem to handle quite as well as the A-Class cars, so you really have to concentrate on cornering and maneuvering carefully to get around everyone. Your opponents have physically got much larger too, so there are times at which you just can't squeeze by them. One of your opponents even looks like a big rig cab, and it takes up a lot of space on the track. Sometimes I just can't get around it. The S-Class Championship introduces the most difficult track in the game, Congo, and it is a ride and a half. It is an intense, narrow hill climb that introduces pits of death halfway through. Nothing gets your heart pumping like having to take a hairpin at the edge of a cliff. As someone who likes using chase cam, you need to switch to bumper cam for this race, so you can see the pits coming before you drive into them. It's intimidating at first, but after a few tries, I won the S-Class Championship and earned myself some end credits. I ended up enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. It's a little awkward to control and not as smooth as Sega Rally or Colin McRae, but it rewards a little practice, and the track designs are honestly very good. I love the variety of locations and the interesting layouts in each one. They're just satisfying to drive and fun to memorize. The soundtrack is very interesting. It's going for a kind of gabber, like hardcore techno style, like the old Ridge Racer games, but it's doing so in 1998, way after Ridge Racer itself abandoned that aesthetic in favor of something a little more toned down. I mean, listen to this stuff. In keeping with the Rally de Africa theme, though, they are also incorporating samples of, like, traditional West African music, which sounds very unique when combined with hard techno. Alright, I think I'm gonna cut myself off here. I enjoyed this game, and I think I'll keep playing it as well as its sequel, Rally de Europe. Thank you again to Turbo Meowser for suggesting this game, and thank you for watching. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to try and win a race with the Volkswagen minibus.